is pain good? Is every great thing that has ever happened to me in my life has occurred after a great deal of pain? So let's get into it. So as most of you should know, I broke my arm a while back, and I've been recovering from it 2 surgeries later, and now I'm going through physical therapy. And physical therapy is incredibly, incredibly painful. But it's one of those things that I know that I have to go through this pain in order to get what I want, which is, to get full range of motion back in my arm, and also to be able to type again. That's like the most important part right now. And the thing that brought this up for me, every morning I do a little bit of journaling. So I meditate, and then I sit down and write out a couple things, things I'm dealing with, or, whatever. And in the beginning, my writing was always about what was angering me, what was triggering me, what was setting me off. But now that I've learned to deal with my anger somewhat, most of the things I write about are kind of like revelatory, things that I just discovered, or some things that I haven't thought about for a while, but now, make a whole lot of sense. And that was the impetus for this podcast, was this pain that I was going through. I woke up that morning and I was not in a good mood. My arm was really painful. So I'm going to be going to physical therapy twice a week for 8 weeks. That's a lot, but apparently I did a lot of damage to my elbow, and now having my arm just in one position in a cast for all these months, I do not have very much range of motion at all right now. And that was it. That was the beginning of all this. I was kind of pissing and moaning about how, oh, my arm hurts, I don't want to do this, but then I realized, and one of the questions that I ask myself when I'm writing, whatever it's that I'm writing about, is how is this positive, right? So I was sitting there trying to figure out how this pain that I'm going through could be a positive thing, and then of course I realized that everything good in my life that's happened to me so far has been because of some pain that I've gone through. And realizing that, kind of, it was like, the penny drops, right? I realized, oh yeah, that is true in every aspect of my life, my body, my mental and emotional state, my relationships, my business, all that stuff, everything that's been good in my life has come because I went through a pretty good amount of pain. Right now I'm going through this physical pain with my arm, right? But the only way I'm ever going to get my range of motion back, the only way I'm ever going to be able to type again like I used to, is if I do this physical therapy and go through all the pain. And my therapist said, the first month of physical therapy is the most painful. So as long as I can get through that first month, I should be okay. But it's not just physical pain, Like part of my daily routine is meditating and journaling every morning. And there are plenty of times when I wake up and I don't want to meditate and I don't want to write down in my bullet journal, but I do, and it's that little bit of a discomfort, that I have to convince myself to do these things that I know are going to benefit me, but at the moment, I don't want to do them. And it goes the same way with my relationships, whether they be romantic or friendships or, the relationships between me and my family members. That takes effort. That takes, commitment. I've been doing my best to call, or at the very least, text, at least one of my siblings, on a daily basis. I talk to my mother a few times a week. My cousins, call friends, see how they're doing. I'm really, like I said, making an effort to strengthen, to build and strengthen those relationships that are important to me. And in my business, over the last couple of years of this pandemic, it's pretty much wiped out my business. So I'm basically starting from scratch again, and taking those types of losses and those setbacks are very frustrating, but dealing with that pain, financial, and the bruise to my ego and all that is necessary. It's what's setting me up to do the affiliate marketing and the freelance writing that I'm doing now. And while I'm not making the amount of money that I was before, right, yet, I will, but at the moment I'm not. Even though I'm not making that money now, I feel okay about it. I feel okay with where I'm at, even though I'm not at the same level I was before this whole thing started. And that's it. Every area of my life, currently, I'm experiencing some amount of pain or some amount of discomfort. But it's all for the best, I think, anyway. I know that, like I said, on the other side of this pain is going to be all the things that I really want in my life. The physical body that I want, the mental and emotional stability that I've been after for the last year or so. Stronger relationships, maybe even a romantic one, who knows? And definitely a stronger business and better financial situation. So, yeah, pain can be a good thing. You just have to make it past that pain, and then, you get those things that you're after. So, I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys are looking forward to that as well. That's all I have for this episode. Don't avoid the pain in your life. While I'm certainly not loving the pain that I'm going through now, I certainly do understand it. I respect it, and I know that it is a necessary step for me to get the things that I really want in life. So that's really all I got. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. And, see you on the next episode.